Hi guys. Okay, so today we're going to talk about garment sewing. So this will be a video for your beginner's kit for your garment sewing. Alright, so first things first. The first thing you're going to need for garment sewing, pins. Pins. You can never have too many pins. You want to pin your fabric to keep it together so it doesn't slide and you're not sewing the fabric uneven. So you will definitely need pins. You will need pins as much as you will need thread and fabric. Next thing you're going to need, thread. There's so many different types of thread. You pretty much have to pick and choose what works for you and your machine. Personally, I buy thread pretty much from anywhere that I am. Joann's, Hobby Lobby, Walmart, Target, well not Target, Walmart, any kind of fabric or craft store. They sell fabric or thread or any kind of notions. I make sure that I pick up some thread. So I have multiples of different colors. The next thing you're going to need is measuring tape. You will need measuring tape so that you can measure your body or anybody that you're sewing for. You will need measuring tape to get their correct measurements. The next thing you're going to need, bias tape. Bias tape, you need bias tape for armbands, neck bands. If you just want to line up your fabric with a pretty color, you'll need bias tape for that. You can buy it in a package like this, or you can make your own. Next thing you're gonna need, seam rippers. I know we all hate to mess up and use those seam rippers to tear up your seams, but let's face it, 9 times out of 10, sometimes you don't sew everything right. So you're going to need, instead of ripping your fabric and messing it up, you're going to need those seam rippers to cut that thread. Fabric glue stick. I don't use the glue stick that often, but I do sometimes use the glue stick to keep my hems. When I'm hemming certain things, I'll use the glue stick to keep that in place. So you'll need some of that. If not, don't buy it. Me personally, sometimes I use fabric glue. The next thing I'm going to talk about, pattern weights. These are just washers from my local home improvement store. I paid 10 cents each. I use these to hold down my patterns, my pattern paper when I'm cutting my fabric. I'm not purchasing those high price pattern weights that they make from the same thing from those fabric stores. I'll buy my own and make my own. 10 cents a piece. Seam gauge. You'll need your seam gauge in order to measure your hems. If you're hemming a skirt or pants, shorts, dresses, whatever, you're going to need your seam gauge to make sure that you're hemming the correct lengths. You don't want your pants to be 2 different lengths. Pretty much. That's the bottom line. You don't want your pants to be 2 different lengths. You need your seam gauge. Bobbin case holder. With filled bobbins, with empty bobbins, you'll need sewing machine needles. All of the needles are different. Not all of the needles in this particular case, but if you go to Joann's or Walmart or anywhere, Hobby Lobby, you'll see the section for needles. You need different needles for different fabric. So you'll always need some extra needles on hand just in case you break one or you lose them or anything. Next thing you're gonna need, elastic. You need elastic for anything you're gonna make. Pants, shorts, dresses. You'll need different size elastic. Let's see here. The next thing you're gonna need, fabric shears. Fabric shears, you need that to cut your fabric. You need your paper scissors to cut your pattern. You need your pinking shears to, if you don't have a serger, You can use your zigzag stitcher on your machine, and you can also clip your seams with your pinking shears in order to keep the fabric from fraying. These particular scissors I use to cut my threads. You need buttons, zippers, you need fabric, any kind of fabric. I purchased this cotton fabric from Walmart for $1 a piece. You also need patterns if you're going to be using patterns for your garment sewing. Me personally, I use patterns sometimes I don't. Mimi G patterns. I love Mimi G. I use her patterns all the time. Also, you're going to need a sewing machine. You could sew everything by hand, but let's face it, that's going to take forever. So you want to start off small. I didn't go out and buy a $400 sewing machine. I purchased this machine along with the desk and all of the notions and things that you see in this box here. I purchased that all from Craigslist. So you have different options. You can go to Walmart, you can purchase Amazon, eBay, any of those websites for a good machine. Also, if you're going to be sewing garments, one thing I recommend is you need a mannequin or a dress form. I purchased this particular dress form from Walmart. It was on sale, I want to say for $99. You can also go to Joann's. Sometimes they have them in Hobby Lobby, I believe. Amazon, eBay, any of those websites have these. You'll catch them on sale. They're not that expensive. If you don't have one, that's fine. You don't have to get one, but it is a good thing to have. And I do believe that is all for this video.